Imagine walking down your local main street only to find the shutters down on your favorite store, its vibrant signs now a remnant of the past. The reality is stark. Some of the most beloved retail chains in the United States, the giants that have dominated our shopping experiences, are teetering on the brink of collapse. A recent study by UBS forecasts a staggering closure of over 50,000 stores, signaling a seismic shift in America's retail landscape. This is an era of unprecedented challenges for retailers, with household names like Rite Aid, Amazon Fresh, and Big Lots scrambling to reinvent their strategies in a bid to survive. Amidst this turmoil, the question looms large: which stores will fold in the face of the looming retail apocalypse? In today's video, we're peeling back the curtain on the 15 major retail chains that could vanish from the American landscape in the near future. Some are in the throes of liquidation, bidding adieu to their loyal customers, while others are fighting tooth and nail to stay afloat. Before we plunge into this retail odyssey, take a moment to support our channel. Hit the thumbs up if you find this video informative, and make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss out on our comprehensive guides and lists. Now, without further ado, allow us to usher you into the world of the 15 biggest chains in America facing the threat of disappearance in the upcoming months. Number 15. Rite Aid. In a startling revelation that caught consumers off guard, Rite Aid, the iconic pharmacy chain, announced in the spring of 2024 that it was closing the doors on 145 of its stores. But the plot thickens as Forbes recently shed light on a more somber forecast for 2024, hinting at even more closures on the horizon. The reason? A stunning streak of underperformance spanning several quarters has plagued over 100 stores, pushing the company into a tight corner. With the cloak of silence on the exact numbers, the leadership at Rite Aid remains tight-lipped, yet the intent is clear: slashing costs is the order of the day. The gravity of the situation is underscored by a jaw-dropping quarterly loss, exceeding $67 million of December 21, 2022. And yet the future looks even bleaker than previously feared, with projections for fiscal 2024 painting a gloomier picture than anticipated. Given the circumstances, we are poised to make some tough decisions, which may include further store closures. Rite Aid's Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, Matt Schroeder, hinted during a discussion with analysts about the fiscal first quarter earnings. This spells a concerning trend for the pharmacy chain, which is gradually but surely fading from the US retail scene. If the current trajectory continues, Rite Aid may vanish before our very eyes, leaving a gap in the hearts of loyal customers and the American retail landscape alike. Seeing Party City. Imagine this someday, the place where balloons never deflate and the party never ends. That was Party City for many of us, but in a dramatic turn of events, this beloved chain, once the heart of our celebrations, is now taking it. At the dawn of 2024, Party City found itself ensnared in a financial whirlwind, declaring bankruptcy. This shocking downfall can be attributed to a perfect storm of challenges, including an unchecked spiral of inflation and a drastic shift in how consumers spend their hard-earned cash. Remember those days when every occasion called for a trip to Party City? Well, the pandemic put a sudden halt to that, brutally impacting their revenue as in-person gatherings vanished overnight. The struggle was real, and by November, the signs were ominous. Party City announced a drastic decision to slash its corporate workforce by 19%, a move propelled by the grim forecast that 2022 losses could spiral to an astonishing $200 million. The final nail in the coffin, on January 18th, a stunning announcement echoed across the financial realms, halting trading of Party City's stock and leading to its immediate removal from the stock exchange. The disparity in their financial health was stark, with reports showing $1 billion in assets overwhelmed by a staggering $10 billion in liabilities. And so, as we bid farewell, every Party City store is now on a countdown to its inevitable closure, marking the end of an era for this iconic retailer. They stand as the latest in the line of retail giants to fall victim to the relentless macroeconomic winds sweeping across the nation. Up next, at number 13, we have a story that truly encapsulates the struggle of retail in modern times. Tuesday Morning, a household name for bargain hunters, has hit a rough patch that seems almost insurmountable. Just a month and a half ago, the chain declared bankruptcy, yes, for the second time in just 3 years. The primary culprit: oversaturation. With an overwhelming 464 stores dotting the landscape, a staggering 264 are set to be shuttered. The reason? They're simply not pulling their weight, positioned in locations that have seen better days in terms of profitability. But here's where it gets really interesting. The decline in foot traffic and in-person sales has dealt a crippling blow to Tuesday morning. It's a tale as old as time in the retail world, yet it stings anew with each telling. Their initial bankruptcy filing back in 2020 was a direct result of the COVID-19 pandemic's grip on the world. It was a tough time for everyone, but for Tuesday morning, it marked the beginning of an uphill battle for survival. Now, as we tread further into 2024, questions swirl around the future of this beloved chain. Analysts and shoppers alike are left pondering, will Tuesday morning be able to weather this storm, or will it become a relic of retail's bygone era? At number 12, we have Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh facing a surprising turn of events. Amid ongoing challenges in their grocery retail sector, Amazon is making bold moves by scaling back dramatically. Despite the initial buzz around their cashierless technology, these once promising chains are seeing their doors close one after another. This cost-cutting decision marks a significant shift in strategy as Amazon decides to cut its losses and concentrate efforts on expanding the Whole Foods brand, which currently boasts over 500 stores. Just last month, the echoes of empty Amazon Fresh stores made headlines, signaling a much quicker downfall than anyone had predicted. At number 11, we've got Best Buy, a titan in the electronics retail landscape that's been walking a tightrope recently. Over the last few years, this giant has seen better days, silently shuttering over 80 of its doors since 2019. And just when you thought the news couldn't get any drearier, earlier this year, whisperings emerged about even more closures on the horizon. While Best Buy's lips are sealed on the exact count, the buzz around the media hive is that a staggering 600 stores might be on the brink of saying their final goodbyes. That's a whopping half of the chain's presence in the United States finding themselves in murky waters. In a startling revelation by Corie Barry, the captain at the helm of Best Buy, in an article by bizjournals.com, she unveils a forecast that's anything but sunny, with supply chain nightmares, skyrocketing labor costs, and an economy that continues to throw curveballs. Barry foresees a manufacturing slowdown that could send shockwaves far and wide. The top brass at Best Buy are bracing for impact, their eyes wide open to the reality that their business could continue its downward spiral. Despite the grim outlook, they're not going down without a fight and with what they believe are their best strategies. They're determined to breathe life into the business, or at least salvage what remains of this retail behemoth. 10. The uncertain future of Corner Bakery. Imagine walking into Corner Bakery, the aroma of freshly baked cinnamon rolls filling the air, the sight of an array of colourful salads, mouth-watering sandwiches, and steamy soups greeting you. This fast casual cafe chain, known for its expansive menu ranging from breakfast favourites to delectable pasta entrees, used to be a hotspot for food enthusiasts. But did you know that despite its inviting ambience and broad menu, Corner Bakery is facing some seriously tough times? Back in 2021, Corner Bakery was a bustling chain with over 200 locations spread across the US. Fast forward to today, and the number has dwindled to approximately 125. That's right, folks. They've had to close down a significant number of their cafes. This reduction is symptomatic of deeper issues within the company, specifically a hefty debt load of $33.08 million, a remnant from 2017. This financial burden became Pangaea Group's challenge when it acquired Corner Bakery from Rock Capital in 2020. Despite the festive feel inside their cafes, it's been anything but a celebration for Corner Bakery's financial health. So with revenue on the decline as consumer demand weakens, the chain found itself seeking Chapter 11 protection in February, a desperate move to reorganize and hopefully find a new buyer willing to take on its debt and steer the company towards calmer waters. However, given the stormy seas it's navigating, marked by falling revenues, a significant drop in locations, and a daunting debt, the question on everyone's mind is whether Corner Bakery can bake its way out of this predicament. Will this beloved chain manage to turn things around, or will it become one of the notable disappearances from the American dining scene in the months ahead? 9. Kirkland's. Kirkland's story reads like a roller coaster with more downs than ups, especially as we witness the frightening unfold of a recession. Industry experts, from Seeking Alpha, paint a grim picture, pointing out the home decor giant's wobbly foundation. Over the last 3 years, a shocking slide from $634.12 million to just $558.18 million in total revenue paints a vivid picture of a company struggling to keep its head above water. The challenges facing Kirkland's are multifaceted and severe. Earnings reports have been less than optimistic, revealing a troubling trend of declining sales, shrinking gross margins, and plummeting earnings. When the going gets tough, as it does in a recession, durable goods like furniture take a massive hit, a reality that Kirkland's is living in real time. This spells trouble, not just for the immediate future, but for the longevity of this once thriving. Analysts are sounding the alarm bells, assigning a stark sales rating to Kirkland's stock. The reasons: sluggish store traffic and escalating costs are suffocating the retailer, causing its shares to nosedive nearly 32% over a mere 3 months. The outlook for 2024 seems bleak, with little hope for a turnaround. 8. Charlie. The Big Lots. In a twist that's both shocking and somewhat expected in the retail sphere, Big Lots, a behemoth in the realm of discount retailing, is currently facing some gargantuan challenge. With an impressively vast assortment of products that span across multiple categories, from the cozy comfort of furniture, including sofas, mattresses, and an array of ready-to-assemble pieces, to an abundant selection of consumer goodies like beverages, snacks, and pet supplies, Big Lots has been the go-to for deal hunters. And it doesn't stop there. This retailer is a treasure trove of finds in soft home essentials, boasting offerings in bedding, bath, and beyond. Not to mention the neat little appliances and toys that you stumble upon in their aisles. However, despite its cornucopia of offerings, Big Lots finds itself in turbulent waters, with sales plummeting by a staggering 10% year-over-year. It's a perplexing scenario, especially in a consumer market that's hungrily scouring for bargains and low prices amidst economic unpredictability. Operating a vast network of 1425 stores across 48 states, Big Lots now faces the grim reality that a significant number of its locations are bleeding profits, casting long shadows over their future. This month swung in with a bombshell from the company's CFO, Jonathan Ramsden, announcing an unprecedented move to shut down all urban center stores before the year's twilight. Such a decision has sent ripples across the retail industry, raising alarms over Big Lots' financial vitality. After a year marred by severe cash depletion and the departure of its largest furniture vendor last November, the forecast is grim. The retailer disclosed a chilling net loss of $210.07 million, or $7.30 per share, for the fiscal year ending January 31st. Sunny days are ahead for Big Lots, and its loyal fan base might have to bid adieu to their beloved hunting ground for deals in the months to come. The fall of Bed Bath & Beyond. Once a household name, Bed Bath & Beyond's story is turning into a cautionary tale. Remember those 20% off coupons you've been saving? Now's the time to dig them out. You've only got a few days left to redeem those golden tickets before they become nothing more than paper. After years of barely staying afloat, the retail giant recently announced its Chapter 11 bankruptcy and is now on a path of rigorous cost-cutting efforts. But here's the real shocker. If a last-minute savior doesn't step in, Bed Bath & Beyond plans to shutter all of its 360 stores along with its 120 buybuy BABY locations by June 30th. That's right, we're looking at a complete liquidation. This massive going out of business sale is reminiscent of the legendary closures of Toys R Us and Circuit City over the last decade and a half. But wait, it gets more interesting. The downfall of Bed Bath & Beyond isn't just a tale of economic woes. It's a saga of mismanagement. A series of misguided decisions by the company's leadership paved the way for its impending doom. And for those who jumped on the Bed Bath & Beyond stock train during its meme stock fame, it might be time to rethink your investments. Remember, in the world of bankruptcy, debt holders take the front seat, leaving meme stock enthusiasts and retail investors in the dust. This is a stark reminder of the volatile nature of retail and the importance of strategic management. The story of Bed Bath & Beyond is more than just a closure. It's a narrative on adaptability, strategic decision-making, and the merciless pace of the retail world. 6. Dollar General, the decline of America's neighborhood general store. In a twist that few saw coming, Dollar General, once hailed as America's quintessential neighborhood store, is facing a staggering retreat from U.S. cities. The news hit hard when the discount giant confirmed plans to shutter a number of its shops across California, Colorado, Indiana, and Ohio. But what's driving this once thriving chain towards the precipice of bankruptcy? The plot thickens as we uncover the alarming reason behind these closures. The U.S. Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, has brought Dollar General into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. An extensive inspection spree revealed a shockingly lax attitude towards worker safety, with numerous stores caught in the act of breaching health safety protocols. Since 2017, OSHA's relentless scrutiny has resulted in fines exceeding $9 billion, with more than 180 inspections revealing a pattern of willful and severe safety violations that put employees and potentially customers at risk. Dollar General's disregard for federal safety regulations is not just alarming. It's downright dangerous, especially in emergency situations, warns OSHA Regional Administrator Kirk Petermeyer in Atlanta. Despite being well-versed in what the law demands, Dollar General has continuously failed to uphold its duty of care towards its employees across the nation. Now, as Dollar General stands at the brink, a looming multi-million-dollar lawsuit threatens to deliver the final blow. This isn't just about a few store closures. It's a dramatic saga of negligence that could see one of America's most recognizable chains disappearing before our very eyes. 5 NE CVS facing a crossroads. Imagine walking down to your local CVS and finding the doors shuttered for good. That's the stark reality staring at us. Karen Lynch, CVS's CEO, drops a bombshell. Hundreds of CVS stores are on the chopping block, set to vanish before the year's end. The culprit, a mix of dwindling foot traffic, shelves that echo emptiness, products that no longer draw eyes, and interiors that have seen better days. Toss in the nightmares of supply chain disruptions and a fiercer competitive landscape, and it's clear CVS is navigating a perfect storm. Industry insiders are ringing alarms, suggesting that the traditional CVS model might be marching towards obsolescence unless drastic consumer-centric transformations are embraced. Is this the end of the road for one of America's beloved pharmacy chains, or will it manage to reinvent itself in the nick of time? 4. Nordstrom. Up next on our list, Nordstrom finds itself teetering on the edge of a retail precipice. Caught in the V's of the ongoing retail apocalypse, this beloved department store is flashing red on Moody's Analytics bankruptcy. What the impact? A shuttering wave across North America, with the company waving goodbye to its Canadian operations and closing doors at dozens of its US locations after witnessing a staggering 40% plunge in sales back in 2022. But hold on to your hats, because the road ahead in 2024 looks even rockier. With the spectre of another economic downturn looming and consumer spending tightening, Nordstrom's fight to keep its head above water is one we'll be watching closely. Will they manage to turn the tide, or is this the final chapter for another retail giant? 3. A Children's Place. Next up, we have the Children's Place facing a dramatic shift in its strategy. Brace yourselves, because this popular children's apparel retailer is cutting its brick and mortar presence in half this year. That's right, folks, 265 stores are on the chopping block. This isn't their first rodeo. They've already said goodbye to 586 stores, with a whopping 315 closures since the pandemic began. By the end of 2022, they were down to 613 stores, marking an 8.3% drop from the previous year, leaving only 430 stores still welcoming shoppers. But here's the kicker. In the final quarter of 2022, the Children's Place reported net sales of $456.01 million, which is down 10.2% from the previous year. They're feeling the sting from those store closures, a dip in consumer spending amid inflation worries, and a less than jolly holiday season. With an even smaller footprint, the future seems uncertain for this beloved chain. Could we be witnessing the countdown to a financial crunch? Next up, at number 2, is Mattress Firm. Picture this. Just a few years ago, in 2018, Mattress Firm bounced back from a rough Chapter 11 snag, slimmed down but standing. Fast forward to today, and it's a whole different bedtime story. Consumer spending on bedding is hitting the snooze button hard, putting Mattress Firm on the edge of another nightmare. Bloomberg rings the alarm, revealing a Seaman's Bedding, a key mattress maker, is likely to file for bankruptcy really soon. No supply could mean game over for Mattress Firm. Retail Dive even gives it a 53% chance of crashing out by the second quarter of 2024. If shoppers keep closing their wallets at the current rate, 7% less spending in just a few more months, mattress firm might just check out of the mattress game for good. 1. Express. Imagine strolling through the mall, spotting those trendy, eye-catching displays at Express, only to realize that might soon be a memory of the past. Known for catering to the young, stylish crowd with disposable income, Express finds itself navigating turbulent waters. Critics argue the brand's struggle stems from its narrow size offerings and overemphasis on fleeting fashion trends. Picture this: a lime green suit that screams bold but realistically hangs in the closet, gathering dust. Terry Fisher, a seasoned retail analyst, points out the real catch-22 for Express lies in their overseas production. Being a step behind the latest trends isn't a luxury they can afford, especially with the financial vices tightening around them. With 2024 looming large, Express's tale could serve as a stark reminder of the relentless retail battlefield. Only the most adaptable and customer-centric brands will survive this cutthroat competition. Will Express manage to turn the tide, or will it become a chapter in the retail history books?